name is Blaine Little, and my company is Momentum Seminars. Maybe you've heard of me. Now, how many of y'all regularly attend some of Laurie's meetings? Everybody in here? Maybe about half the room? Good. Wonderful. So, did any of you read, by any chance, what was written on Laurie's latest post about this particular group? No, you didn't? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to read it to you. Okay? Here you go. So, this went out to everybody on her Facebook distribution list in her post. Mr. Little has traveled the country sharing his knowledge with other professionals like you. Certified national trainer and sales coach Blaine Little will lead us through the ins and outs of what influence is and how to use it. Where does it come from? And how can you avoid the pitfalls of sales and in life? This is a one-of-a-kind presentation and is just a small portion of what Blaine has taught sales representatives, managers, and C-suite executives. If you have meetings this Friday, skip them. If you have appointments, reschedule them. You do not want to miss this Momentum Seminars production of Blaine Little, brought to you by Laurie Delk. Blaine will be available immediately after the meeting for autographs and photos. I don't know why you're laughing. Okay, and we expect a capacity crowd. Invite friends quick, as seating is limited and strictly on a first-come, first-served basis. Well, today what we're talking about is something that is going to help you in your sales life and in your private life. Influence. Now, some people will think I have to have control of all situations. I have to have control of my family. I have to have control of my work life. I have to have control of my church. Otherwise, I'm not going to be productive. I'm not going to reach the level of happiness that I want. But the problem is, control is fleeting. We're never really in control. In fact, we're out of control more times than we are in it. When we talk about control, we're really talking about manipulating someone else to try to mold that person into who we are or we want them to be. That's not going to happen. If you have ever changed another human being, please raise your hand and let me know, because I'm going to pick your brain at the end of the meeting. You know? You have. Wonderful. Outstanding. Okay.
I threatened them.
Well, there you go. But that's a threat. Is it really changing, or they're just kind of behaving because that's kind of the thing. So control is fleeting, but we may be able to affect someone's behavior by influencing them. Influence. Now, there's some wonderful books that were written by an Arizona State University professor, Robert Cialdini. And he's written about half a dozen books just on influence alone. I've got his latest book, but I just haven't had the time to get into it. But he has 3 or 4 that just begin with the title Influence, and then have a subtitle. I'm going to give you what you have here on your pink sheets, or your, not pink, pink's your color, purple's my color. On your purple sheets, what you have are 6 different types of influence. There is another one, which is just basically, hey buddy, have I got a deal for you? And you appeal to their sense of fulfilling that supply and demand. You have a need, I can fulfill it. Very simple. That's basically just kind of taking an order. But if you're in sales, or if you're a manager, or if you're a parent, it might be necessary to do a little bit more in terms of influence. Again, we're not trying to control anybody. We're not trying to manipulate anyone. We just want to show them that if they alter their behavior, it may be beneficial for them. All right. So the first thing that he's got in here, one type of influence, is consistency. Consistency. Those of you in sales, who's our best customers?
Consistently.
Existing customers. They're our best one. Because we already have that relationship that's built with them, and so they've done business with us in the past. Why would they not want to do business with us in the future? So consistency is huge. Reciprocity. This is the back and forth. If you make a sales call, you call on someone, you go to their office, you sit down and you talk to them, take some sort of a little prop, a little tchotchke, some sort of a knick-knack that has your logo, your name on it, so you can give it to them. It could just be a pen, anything that's simple. But the thing is that when you give something to someone, a gift, they kind of feel obligated to give something back in return. So give a little something to them and then ask them for the business. Social proof. If you encounter a group of people looking up in the sky, you wonder if there's a plane stalling or an eclipse. If everybody's doing it, everyone's doing this. I heard a commercial the other day that said, well, if 1 million people in America are doing this, it can't be wrong. And I'm thinking, yeah, it absolutely can't be. But so many people go along with the crowd, the social proof. Are you promoting yourself on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, in LinkedIn? Are you promoting yourself? Hey, you just had success today. Who's my mobile dry cleaner right there? Yeah, awesome that you do that. I've never heard of such a thing. Do you take photos of the business where you are, or maybe with your van at the end and then post it on social media? If not, I encourage you to start doing that. After each successful transaction with a client, you need to do that. Let people know. People gravitate towards people who have something already going on. Success breeds success. The fourth thing here is if you're an authority. What type of certification do you have? What kind of a degree do you have? What type of life experiences do you have? You know you have them, but others don't. So we kind of have to brag about ourselves just a little bit, okay? Liking. Sometimes people will do business with you just because they like you. Bob Berg said, all things being equal, people tend to do business with people they know, like, and trust. And I think he was just saying that at the time because it sounds good. It's absolutely true. But there's really some building blocks there that we can use in sales. Do they know you? Do they like you? Do they trust you? Your sales manager will say, go out and build trust. Meet someone and build trust with them. But do you build trust the first time? No. But you can get into that likability. So, in other words, do people just not find you obnoxious? That's what that's getting at. Scarcity. This is where we create a sense of urgency for someone. Get it now, because soon it will be what? Gone. So get it now. So those are some different influencers that you can utilize in your own business. Now, I'm going to read the copy that I posted back once again, and we're going to compare it to these 6 different influencers. All right? Now, number 1, this was sent out to everybody on Laurie's Facebook page, okay? So that's consistency. If they've been to Laurie's Facebook page before, again, that's consistency. All right. Mr. Little has traveled the country sharing his knowledge with other professionals like you. What's that? It could be a little bit, but it's more liking because I'm comparing myself to y'all.
Right.
You're business people, I'm a business person, so there's some affinity there. So it goes to liking.
Sure.
Certified national trainer and sales coach, Blaine Little will lead us through the ins and outs of what influence is and how to use it. Which one is that? Which influencer? Authority. Yeah. Authority. I'm a certified coach. I've been doing this for years. Where does it come from? Talking about influence and how can you avoid pitfalls in sales and in life. This is a one-of-a-kind presentation, and it's just a small portion of what Blaine has taught to sales representatives, managers, and C-suite executives. Which one is that? Other people. It's social proof, because what I'm saying is, look, these other people are happy with my services,
right.
So you should be happy too. And in fact, part of this is what I was talking to a retailer. It was 50 store managers and the executives just a couple of weeks ago, down in Alabama, and they're having a hard time with turnover and just constant revolving door of new employees and other employees leaving. So I talked about here's what the influence is that a good manager can have. All right, let's go forward. If you have meetings this Friday, skip them. If you have appointments, reschedule them. You do not want to miss this Momentum Seminars production of Blaine Little, brought to you by Laurie Delk. And that's kind of social proof again.
Scarcity.
Yes, well, yeah. You don't want to miss. You're exactly right. It is very good. Scarcity. Now, what about this one? Blaine Little will be available immediately after the meeting for autographs and photos. I'm giving you something.
Yeah. All right.
Reciprocity. So, if I'm spending some time with you, do I have the right to ask you for my business? And we expect a capacity crowd. Invite friends quick, as seating is limited, and on a first come, first served. Yeah, scarcity. So how well are you writing your advertising, your social media? Do you use the influence that you should already have? But do you promote how influential you are? I think I might just have 1 minute for any short, specific questions pertaining to this issue. Anyone has any?
Well,
Yeah.
you're hitting the nail on the head with me only because I just made a little marketing decision for myself to expand my operations. I'll explain. I don't need to explain the detail. The point is, I wrote kind of a summary intro letter that I will be leaving that touches on 2 or 3 of these things, but I realize I'm leaving out 3 or 4 other things to kind of motivate, or like scarcity and things like that. I'm going to rewrite the whole thing.
Good, awesome.
But I think I guess that would be it. But also post it on my Facebook page, which is dormant. So.
And you got to hit on something there too, is that you had a few of these tools that you were using, but it kind of a shotgun approach.
Yeah.
Now you only have 288 characters in a Twitter, okay, fine. But do you use in different postings, do you use the different types of influence you have? Because some people will react differently to different types of influence tools. All right? Well, thank you all so much for having me here today. I'm going to turn it back over to Laurie.